Okay, so in this video today we're going to be showing you how to install heater cap along with the gutter cap. So the heater cap system has to be installed with the gutter cap if indeed there are trees around and the gutters are going to be filled up with debris. So the gutter cap is going to keep all the leaves and debris out, and the heater cap is going to keep the whole system heated throughout the winter to keep the gutters free flowing. So the first thing that you got to do, and we're going to be showing you an example on an easy application right now. The first thing you have to do is figure out the length of the gutter run. So this gutter is approximately 20 feet, and you're going to have to account for double that because it's going to be going in the gutter and on top of the cap. And then you're going to have to account for the downspout. And in this case scenario, they're going into drain tiles. So we're going to want to go at least 5 feet into the drain tile and 5 feet back up. So we got about 70 feet of wire that we're going to run, and there's two ways that I find easiest to get the wire unraveled from the spool. One being you put a rod in between the wire and set this up on either a ladder or horses, and then you can run the wire out from that. This is a full spool of 500, so I'm gonna run 75 feet here in the grass, and then I'll be able to cut it and then feed the wire through. So you could either with a tape measure or a measuring wheel, you can measure out the 75 feet, or on the wire it measures in meters. So I'm at 150 meters right here, and I need to get to 75 feet, so I need to get down to 125. So I got down to 125. I went a couple meters longer just to have some extra. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Now that we're ready to feed the wire through the gutter, you always want to have, even if it's dry out, I like to cover this with the end cap so that no moisture gets into the wires, because if moisture gets into the wire during installation, or there's a slit to this wire when you're ready to hook it up, it's not going to work. So it's better safe than sorry to just it doesn't matter if it's electrical tape or whatever, if it's going to be cut and sealed later, but for a temporary seal you just want to make sure that this end is covered. So we just finished running the wire through the bottom of the gutter. Now there's a couple different ways that you can run the wire, but what I find easiest on this run is, obviously we're starting and ending at the end of the downspout. So instead of going up the downspout and on the bottom of the gutter and then on top of the cap, I like to run in the bottom of the gutter and then run the length of what we need for the top of the cap, and run that all the way past the gutter. So we ran 20 feet past the gutter, and then I just fished the rest of the wire through the bottom of the downspout. As you noticed, we left a lot of the brackets for the gutter out just because it was a little easier to fish through. So now we'll add the brackets and set the gutter, and then we'll start to put the gutter cap on, and then we'll put the heater cap on, and then we'll attach the downspout and get the wire hooked up. Okay, so we have about a 10-12 pitch roof, so that we need to give the gutter cap a little bit of a break. So as you can see, we're putting in the dispersing panel about an inch off of the nose of the gutter cap. And what this does is when the wire is in it, this is aluminum, so it's going to disperse the heat up to the gutter cap to about the second row of shingles. So it's not just going to heat the exactly where it's at, it's going to heat up the gutter cap, and then it's going to get that ice and snow melted and into the gutter and into the downspout and away from the home. So on this part, I cut back some of the layer, and then I'm going to cut back this ground, and then I'm going to cut a little notch in between the two business, a little V. So that nothing is touching, and then I can put my end seal on, and then I can heat them. Okay, so on this house, they currently have 2x3 downspouts, and they're going into a deck here. So since we are putting gutter cap and heater cap on, and there's going to be a wire that's going through the downspout, we want to have 3x4 downspouts always. So you're going to want to remove the 2x3. You're going to want to outline the area where it needs to go through the deck. And then you're going to want to use a jigsaw or some type of multi saw to cut the hole bigger. So we're going underneath the deck now, and we're going into a drain tile. So we got our downspout cut to the length that we need to go to the adapter. So I'm now going to find the wire, which I got the end of the wire here. Alright, so I've got the wire in the bottom of the gutter up top. On top of the cap, I've fished the wire through the downspout. And then I've made a hole over here, which I'll show you in a second, and attached the adapter to it. So now all I have, so I have my wire that I'm going to be doing my connection through the downspout, and I have my excess that I want to go into the drain tile because we want to, go into the drain tile about 5 feet. I'm going to fish this through here. All right, so I've got the wire into the drain tile, back up the drain tile, and then I've got this adapter here and the wire out here. So I'm going to we're doing on this house, this line right here is under 100 linear feet, so we're okay with doing a plug-in into this electrical outlet. And if it was over 100 linear feet, we always want to directly connect to the circuit breaker. So on another line we'll be doing later, the longer one, we'll be doing a direct connection to the circuit breaker. But for instance, on this one, we're going to use a plug-in, and we're going to put a box right here, and we're going to plug it into this outlet. Alright, so these are the boxes I like to use. These are, I just get these 8x8 boxes, exterior boxes from Home Depot. I like to use these because we can just do the connection right here to the wire and plug this in, and that's fine, but I like to put it into the box to where it's protected, it's on, it's closed, and what we'll do is we will knock out this hole right here, install this for the wire to come into the box. And then once I do the connection in the box, the wire or the plug-in can come out the bottom, and either an extension cord or plug right in, depending on how far the outlet is. But most times you need to always have a little extension cord. So no matter what you're doing, if you're doing a connection in the box or you're actually doing a connection in an exterior box that's going to the circuit breaker, you always want the wire that's coming out of the downspout to be below the connection, because this way no water that is coming down the downspout can go up into the connection. So if you had your hole up here and the box down here, water can flow with the wire and get into your connection and ruin everything. So we want to always have the connection above the wire. So I'm going to do some flexible conduit into this box so that there's no exposed wire for squirrels or anything to chew through it. You want to make sure to put these back on before you put it through the connection to the box. Alright, so now you could see that we have, the flexible conduit going from the downspout into our exterior box. So the wire is fully covered and not exposed. Now you see I have a little extra wire. We don't need all this extra wire, so I will cut all this off right here. And now we are going to do the power connection. So I like to cut off about say 6 inches or 7 inches of the outer layer. So you want to just give it a score enough not to rip through the ground wire. So now we're down to the ground wire. So now what I like to do is, because you don't want to cut this, because you want a nice solid connection. So I loosen this up a little bit, give it a little loose, get the braid a little looser, and then I'm gonna bend this right about here, and I'm gonna peel the braid back and forth until I'm able to pull the ground, or pull the other part all the way through. So I got the ground, I'm pushing the ground through the braid. Now my ground, I'm going to twist it, and I got a solid ground connection. And then I'm going to take off this next layer. So just score it enough to be able to get the next layer. As long as I go in the middle, I could press that down as hard as I want, as long as I'm not cutting through any of the business wires. So I got this taken off. Now I'm gonna cut, this is still a little too long, so I'm gonna cut a little bit of that off. I'm gonna cut right down the middle of this. So now I have my 2 business wires and my ground. I don't need all of this, so I'm going to cut this right here. I'm going to shrink wrap these. Alright, so now these wires, all that matters is the ground goes with the ground, and then the 2 business wires can go to either one. Now that it's all hooked up, we can plug it in to make sure that it works. Test it. And we have a functioning wire. So I'm gonna unplug this. I'm gonna put this through the box, put the connection in the box. Put the cover on. And then I will get a small extension cord to plug into the outlet.